This is Business and Economy Network.
Hello viewers, glad to know you are watching your program wherever you are watching around the world. I want to say thank you so very much. This is your program. It is Business and Economy Network. I want to single all of you watching us in Abuja, those of you in Port Harcourt, those of you in Ilorin, those of you watching us in South Africa, Ghana, those of you watching via the YouTube channels. I want to say thank you so very much. But remember this, when the new administration came in, the first thing the president said is going to tackle, one is corruption, then security, then creation of jobs. Now he's doing a whole lot after these 100 days in office. Now we are going to look at Nigerian economy under President Muhammad Buhari. The president's on the block to speak on Nigerian economy, and we have other experts to lend their voice on how they are faring in their various sphere of endeavor. It's going to be an interesting watch. I'll be back after the time out. Relax your mind, brace up. It's going to be incisive and educative. I'll be back after this time out.
Information is very good, he said, but right information is very vital, especially to your business. Why not join us on Business and Economy Network, where you learn more about business information.
We have to see what efforts were done in terms of privatization. The good old NEPA and Power Holding Company of Nigeria have been sold. Now those who bought them, we have to study what have they done with them. All we know, at least 20 billion United States dollars have been spent on power between 1999 and now. What are the results? There's a lot of work to be done. I like to treat patriotism with a lot of economic sense and common sense. I think for Nigeria, railways is more important than airlines. Railways can be used by people from different levels, from cleaners in the office, to permanent secretaries, to the ministers, to the presidency. But airlines is for the elite. Mostly it's for the elite, those that can afford to pay. But my personal opinion, this is my personal opinion, I don't think the party has come up with its, in their manifesto. I would give Nigerian railways more priority over Nigerian Airways and Nigerian shipping line, and we give priority to the roads because of the way they affect the economy, especially link roads, roads to the rural areas and so on, where food stuff is brought to the urban areas, where people move either to work and back. So there is a lot of work to be done, but our party, as I said, our manifesto has seen it all. They condense it, but it can be expanded. And with the participation of the legislature, we will identify priorities and work very hard to get things done. We have three fundamental problems in Nigeria. One, insecurity. Two, unemployment, the damage done to the economy. As I have just mentioned, only one part of it, the petroleum industry. Three, corruption. In all the 35 states and the town hall meeting I had in Lagos, in Kano, in Abuja, I emphasized these 3 points. I could not recall any group or any individual disagreeing with me in identifying these fundamental issues. Now these are issues that will certainly take time, but we thought of agriculture and mining will help the new government to quickly provide job for everybody unemployed. And we will give that a lot of priority, because insecurity and unemployment and corruption is such a vicious cycle that it has to be broken. If you have insecurity, it will affect employment. Look at the schools closed in the northeast, the factories, the bridges blown, and the unemployment they caused, and what the corruption has been doing to us. So I've already started persuading Nigerians to be patient with us and to try to see us. We'll try and explain at every level what we are doing and how we are doing it, and what cooperation we need from Nigerians.
To get insights, views, and critiques on key players in various sectors of the Nigerian economy, watch Business and Economy Network.
The challenges for our business, one of them is land acquisition. But in that respect, I commend our host government, the Edo State government. They've done so well for this company in terms of assisting, and they did it because they also realize the importance and the benefits of assisting credible organizations to grow their business, because the multiplier effect is huge. It goes beyond the dividends that you pay. You talk of the taxes that go to government. You talk of people who are able to do transportation, whose transportation business are sustained because this company is doing well. You talk of the household businesses, that also airline industries, travel, people have to travel across, the various sectors. You see the multiplier effect of this business. So land acquisition is a challenge in businesses like this, but Edo State government has stood to be counted. Financing is a challenge. This business requires long-term single-digit finances. Reason is that it's long gestation. The break-even point, payback period is long. So you need the right type of financing to carry you through these periods and come to the point when you start to gain returns. That is a challenge. Again, in that respect, I will also commend the federal government for the intervention funds that have been put in place. Funds like the CACS, there's the RSSF now that is out now, and all that such funds have been quite helpful. And I am confident that they will still be there. Credible organizations can access them, use them to do things that are verifiable and help, and the purpose is achieved, which is to boost industrial and agricultural revolution. There is a challenge of skilled manpower. We just talked about training now, and I pointed you to the fact of the length of service of workers here. If those workers are not here, you cannot just walk out there and pick a certain number of people that are skilled and install them. So it's a challenge also to the business, and that's why training, you just cannot, run this business without investing in training. One other challenge that we do have in this business also is the quality of spare parts that you find in our local markets. It's quite a challenge. Most times you get spare parts and they're not of the good quality, meaning that you encounter breakdowns and you go and spend again. So it's also a challenge. We have from time to time challenges in terms of smuggling. It's there. You also, at a point in time, there was the issue of government policies in terms of tariffs. Government has taken steps to address that particular issue. It's a challenge to our business. You have challenges like somersault of government policies. Inconsistency. There is corruption. It's a challenge to our business. We have another challenge, which is I said to someone many years ago, cost of security was not noticed in your profit and loss account. But today, the cost of security is competing with the cost of your main raw material. Because of the security situation in the nation, you have to put certain things in place in order to be able to do your business. That is a challenge. It's also a challenge. In the next 3, 4, 5 years, we'll keep planting. We'll keep developing our oil palm plantation. I already said to you that over the next 6, 7 years, we want to do 10,000 hectares to bring our hectarage to 25,000. We will expand our processing facilities. We already have made a decision to increase the capacity of our vegetable oil refining plant, because as our plantations mature and as we increase them, we produce a lot more crude palm oil, and of course we have to refine them, so we're going to increase our refining capacity. We'll push forward our research and development efforts. We'll push forward our green energy production resources as well. And then of course we'll continue to invest in our human capital. First and foremost, you must be clear in your mind what you want to do. And when you're clear in your mind what you want to do, there is something that we must avoid, and which unfortunately is a key characteristics in our system: get rich quick. So the young ones, if we can think properly, seek counsel, and decide the good way forward, what one wants to do, my counsel will be throw away the get rich quick mentality. If you keep doing a good thing consistently, you will get the good result. Now, like we spoke, there will be challenges, but there's one thing that I have seen. If you are doing the right thing, you will always have people who will come to help you combat the challenges that you encounter. That's my advice for the young ones.
Established in 1992, the National Agency for Science and Engineering Infrastructure was created. The major objectives of the agency are policy guideline, policy implementation, funding requirements, management structure, and economic guideline. The agency encourages indigenous stakeholders to produce goods and services not just for local consumption, but products that could compete internationally, both in creativity and quality.
The National Agency for Science and Engineering Infrastructure has its history related to economic and industrial yearning of the country. We will recall that immediately after independence in 1960, the country adopted an import substitution policy, the strategy that will have fast-tracked industrial development of the country. Immediately after independence, consumer goods, textiles, even capital goods like commercial vehicles and agri machinery were assembled in Nigeria. This continued and the country enjoyed these facilities for 2 decades. However, within these 2 decades, research and development into areas of local manufacturing ability to produce capital goods locally attention was not given to it. What the country was producing was meeting the demand of the country satisfactorily. In fact, in certain areas like textile, we are even exporting to neighboring countries. However, with the oil boom of the 1970s, the oil revenue came in. As a result, the demand for high-tech foreign goods, local production was not meeting the demand because the country had money. We resorted to importation. This has reversed drastically the earlier achievement of the 2 decades of after independence. Now, with the problems in the oil world as a result of the drop in price of oil in early 80s, again with the excessive stock of oil in the market, in the world, led to a drop in revenue according to the government. The local consumption can no longer meet our foreign reserve. We cannot import the way we want, and the country has no option than to resort to structural adjustment program in 1986. The structural adjustment of the government had its plus and minus. Among its minuses, it aimed at promoting local production. However, the tooling comprising of capacity, infrastructure, human capacity, and system was not in place that will lead the country to be an production-oriented economy. As a result, the National Agency for Science and Engineering Infrastructure was set up as a result of 150-man team of professionals, organized private sector, civil servants that travel to 3 industrialized worlds and recently industrialized and even developing countries, and saw their model. How are they able to bridge the gap between economic endeavor and industrial development? Because before then, there is science, engineering, research activities, all right, but everyone was doing his own differently. There was no conflict between the engineering activities, the policy of government on one hand, and the yearning for industrial development on the other. So a blueprint was produced, which was a sum total of policy guideline, policy implementation, funding requirement, management structure, and the economic linkages that these activities will do. therefore, Naseni was set up as a task force agency that will link the Nigerian yearning for industrial development, its own economic dream, with ability to locally produce goods and services that will match not only the consumption locally, but will help the country move away from an import-dependent economy to be not only raw material exporting country, but a country that will add value through its local technologies, through creativity, producing also goods and services that will meet international standards. Naseni is established in 1992 as a result of this effort in the passion of similar agencies in Indonesia, in Malaysia, and in Thailand. These three countries have their model exactly like Naseni, an agency that will operate outside the civil service bureaucracy, an agency that is engineering, science, technology oriented, that will not only do research and development, but the research activities must be need oriented, market driven, and the research output must directly link to the market and with full participation of private sector. This is what brought about the establishment of Naseni in 1992.
Despite the challenges of non-implementation of the policy program, the agency has, however, gone ahead to fulfill its vision by taking action plans to attain certain degree of success in producing several educational, industrial, and laboratory equipment to help in the research and production.
Thank you very much. Naseni's own mandate, system, and mode of operation is to ensure indigenous technology development, industrial development of the country using local technologies, collaborating with individual and organization locally and elsewhere overseas to ensure capital goods and services of international standard are actually produced locally, and that Nigerians will actually own the productive sector of the economy. Naseni, despite the challenges of non-implementation of the policy program and action plan of the agency, all the same has tried and has achieved certain degree of successes in producing several equipment since inception, ranging from educational, industrial, science, laboratory equipment to rotary furnaces that will help in the production and recycling of scrap iron, producing ductile steel, and certain degrees of alloys of materials. Naseni has produced several power components like pole-mounted transformers, industrial stabilizers. Again, the agency has produced small hydro turbines, even generating power in small amount in certain areas. Through research and development activities, now we have functional solar module manufacturing plant in Karachi, Abuja, installed and operated by Nigerians. And Naseni in 2013, you may say, is crude, we are past that level, but has launched first made in Nigeria motorcycle. And in 2014, launched the first made in Nigeria tricycle. And several other products are in the pipeline. In fact, we have finished modeling, design, simulation, test running of electric vehicles, unmanned area vehicles, multi-purpose aircraft, especially for agricultural requirement, heavy-duty truck, if given the resources available. So the agency has demonstrated over the years that is capable, it has capacity of doing this. With collaboration with UNEDO, Naseni is now the center of excellence in the manufacture of small hydro turbine in West Africa. As I said, Naseni is the only agency, the only place where solar panel is manufactured in the country. There are other attempts in other places by both local and governmental agencies who used to come and see the model of Naseni, and we are setting out to them so that there will be proliferation of these technologies so that it can be replicated elsewhere. But this pilot plant, 7.5 megawatt, has been successful. That is our approach.
Well, this is where time will permit us. I want to say thank you so very much. Always remember this: anything that has a beginning definitely must come to an end. But this is where we will draw the wrap of the program. Tomorrow, they say, is another day. I want to thank our dear President Muhammad Buhari, for his time with us on this program, and all of you, all those of you who have sent emails and calls. I want to say thank you so very much. Business and Economy Network definitely will make a return same time next week, God's willing. Stay blessed and keep praying for our leaders.